Congratulations, you've discovered the Lost Level.
Hey guys, and welcome to a very special episode of The Lost Level. This is our 100th episode, so thanks for sticking around all these couple years, guys, listeners.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and sorry it's taken us so long to record this episode.
It's taken a long time to get episode 100.
It has gotten long. It's taken us a long time to get here to 100, but it's also taken us a long time between 99 and 100 just because life happened. I had a passing in my family that I had to take care of. Adam had a brief stint as a crash test dummy.
Yes, I was struck by an SUV.
So luckily he's okay and he's back now. But we wanted to wait to record episode 100 all together as opposed to just having like an episode where it's just two of us. But
it would
yeah.
just been me on a mic. Talk about conspiracies about aliens and how they're really running Ubisoft.
Well, yeah, it was obvious. So should we talk about that right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, Assassin's Creed is really them explaining what they know, and they're trying to share that information with us.
Definitely the Illuminati and New World Order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% agree.
So the Illuminati are aliens? Is that what we're...
No, they're fighting against the aliens.
Well, no, the
right now.
Illuminati are reptile people under the earth, and they're going against the alien people. Those are like the assassins, and the Templar are basically the Illuminati.
Yeah,
it's an allegory.
It basically boils down to Assassin's Creed being a training video for the New World Order.
Sweet.
We're not talking about like the wrestling organization, though. Is that still around?
Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
I don't remember. I don't know. I see. I don't keep up with wrestling.
I'm surprised people still do.
But yes, this is our 100th episode. I'm Chris.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Adam.
So we made it, guys.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. The other part of this too was there's not that much news this week. We kind of went through the news, and it's basically everybody just talking about The Witcher,
which none of us has played.
Right. It's a game that is. I know I'd be interested in it. I haven't gotten to it yet.
You're just not into gaming right now.
I'm on movie mode. I am definitely 100% movie mode. We went and saw bunches of movies in the last couple of weeks. We actually did see that. You know what? Actually, we did do a roundtable discussion of Mad Max. Why don't we do like a quick talk about Mad Max? Because Adam wasn't part of that. Adam saw it again with us last night for the first time for him. And I'm sure he probably has some thoughts that he wanted to share with the audience.
Yeah, it's fucking badass. It's really, really good. It's like the most modern 80s movie you'll ever see. It's a blast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's everything action movies should be that they forgot how to be action movies. And this just captivates you from the moment that you're watching the movie.
Right.
From the
With
start to
almost
finish.
no dialogue, and yet there's still a plot that is easy to follow. It's like the action kind of directs the movie and tells you what's happening. And it's just, I hate to use that stereotypical term, edge of the seat, or edge of your seat, but literally the whole movie is just, there's always something happening, and it's such a blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it doesn't get boring.
No.
I mean, that's the huge thing about action movies these days. I talked about it a little bit on our roundtable discussion, but like action movies can just get so boring because it's just like, you use Michael Bay as an example. There's just so many fucking explosions and everything's going on. The screen is just full of just nonsense that your mind is just overloaded with this stuff. And it just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, and it's action without a purpose.
Right. It's just
in this movie, it's action with a purpose that has a driving force behind it, and is a driving force.
Yeah, I mean, somebody just walks around the corner. There's an explosion. Right. It's like, what? Why? Like, I don't understand. You opened a door. Why is there a fucking megaton explosion? No. It makes no sense. But Mad Max, on the other hand, does action very well. It has a purpose. Mm-hmm. It gives you the story without having to have exposition through dialogue. It's great.
And also, something we didn't discuss on the roundtable, we discussed it afterwards that we've got to bring up is how the action isn't over the I don't want to say not over the top, but it isn't gory. It's very restrained in that it's not gruesome or anything like that. It's actiony, but it doesn't do anything to make you squeamish, and it knows where to draw the line.
Yeah, it's believable to a degree where, yes, you've got these weird chopped up cars that are, driving through the desert, and that's a little bit, out there. But other than that, it's just one long, awesome chase scene of believable action and violence.
Completely agree. Like, what else can you really say about it? Like, do you have any thoughts? Because you weren't on the podcast, so.
Again, I'm just gonna go back to saying it's like the most modern '80s movie you're gonna see. It's fun from beginning to end. There's really no like drawn out beginning to it. It's just like boom, Mad Max is in the middle of shit, and this is how it unfolds. Yeah. And all the characters are really cool. The main villain is really awesome.
His look is amazing.
He looked so cool, man. He looked like he was out of a video game. Maybe that's why I liked him. He sounded awesome, and
yes,
all of his henchmen were really, really cool. Like the pasty white bald guys,
the war boys.
Yeah. Charlize Theron. I mean, she's amazing in this movie.
You forget Charlize Theron most of the time.
She's so good, man. I honestly, I don't have any gripes with this movie. It's like borderline the perfect action flick.
Right?
I really don't have anything else to throw out there. It's just
no, that's exactly right.
Nah, dude, completely 100% agree with you. For a full spoiler-filled podcast where Alex and I have a new person that joins with us. His name's Jose. We get into it. We talk about it for about 25 minutes, spoiler-filled. Just open discussion about it. So if you're interested in what Alex and I have to think, definitely listen to that podcast. We would love that you guys. We would appreciate if you guys listen to that one. Obviously, Adam loves that movie, so that's awesome.
It's a blast. I wish I had seen it earlier, and I'll probably see it again.
Yeah,
it's a definite must-see, and when it comes out, I think it's something everybody should own as well. Just at least people from... Maybe I'm going to date myself, but from my era of growing up in the 80s, watching those kind of movies, watching the original Mad Maxes, and just that type of film, it's I don't know how to put it. It's
nostalgic.
Nostalgic, yeah. Nostalgic, but in a great way where it still fits in with the year that it's made.
And it gives it a fresh idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's going to be Ghostbusters 3.
No.
It's just, hey, it's a Mad Max movie. Here's the universe.
It fits in perfectly.
Dive in.
Yeah, other than the fact that it's a new cast, which also, by the way, Tom Hardy is also great. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy's great in pretty much everything he's ever been in, and this is no different. So it's awesome. Go see it. Just everybody, go see it now. I'm
Stop listening.
Leaving.
Go see it. Yeah, Alex and I saw it twice.
Right.
I
can't remember the last time I actually saw a movie twice in theaters.
Okay. I actually saw 2 movies for the second time over this Memorial Day weekend. I also saw Avengers Age of Ultron again. I took my daughter to see it for her first time. For me, it was the second time. She really enjoyed it. She liked it a lot. We did do a roundtable discussion regarding that.
Did you have any different views on it after seeing it a second time?
I still see the flaws in it. And after seeing other movies that have come out since then, I definitely feel like it's not going to be like the #1 summer movie by any means.
Definitely not.
I've also went back and watched other Marvel movies just over the weekend out of having time to do some stuff and watch some old movies. I watched the original Iron Man movie. I watched Captain America Winter Soldier. I think if anything, Age of Ultron really gave me a bigger appreciation for Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Where I liked Winter Soldier, but I didn't love Winter Soldier. But watching it again with fresh eyes, I guess, so to speak, it definitely is a solid Marvel movie.
Oh yeah,
it's not trying to do too much to advance everything. It just shit happens in Winter Soldier, and the effects of it carry over. In Age of Ultron, we kind of talked about that to death, where it just doesn't feel like it was connected to anything. It felt like it's a separate entity, and it still does, which is very unfortunate. But I do like some. There's definitely great pieces of Age of Ultron. I don't know necessarily if it fits all together as well as it could.
Yeah, fair enough.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
I've just been playing some older games at this point. I'm not sure if it's anything worth talking about.
Now, you finally picked up the Assassin's Creed.
Yes, I got Assassin's Creed Unity for cheap.
Does it still have those facial issues?
I haven't run across any.
I think they patched the shit out of that
game. They patched the shit out of that game. There's still some issues where there's a lot of NPCs that pop in and out every now and then,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not that bad. Otherwise, the game looks really fucking gorgeous, honestly. Like, the lighting's really good, some really good character models for the main characters. There's this portion, because you know how they always have that modern day part, there's like just this person on a computer screen talking to you, and it's beautifully animated when she talks to you, and she's really well modeled and everything. It looks it's some of the best stuff I've seen in a game thus far, just those scenes. Gameplay wise though, like it's definitely a step back, and I'm not just talking about how they don't have any sailing in there, because the last few games have had sailing. Just the action sequences don't feel as fluid. The fighting mechanics feel clunky.
That's so strange,
right? Because
it uses the same engine, right? Or is it a whole new engine now?
I assume it's a whole new engine at this point, but still, you figure they would have got that down pat. It's just it doesn't flow as well. I think the best fighting they'd had was probably during the Ezio games, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and what was the other one?
The third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Revelations.
There you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pulled that out. There's no way. But I'm kind of sad by that, because one of the staples of Assassin's Creed was always the fluid control, being able to just climb up walls like nothing, and be able to be in combat, being able to just quickly strike back or counter is one of the best things about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it definitely has some fighting. The climbing and everything is still really fluid, and they actually do add fluidity to it, because you could have free run down instead of just free running up, so you could scale down buildings and stuff a lot faster without just making a crazy jump, and hopefully you're not dying. You descend in a manner that's like, oh, there's a ledge down here, let me jump on that, then another ledge down there, instead of just leap of faithing it.
Right.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's actually a improvement on the series. But aside from the visuals and those are like the only improvements in it.
I'm hoping that I get that itch back to play that series again and go back to it and play Black Flag. Was it?
Black Flag was really good,
because everybody talks about how good Black Flag is. Like, I'm just still worn out on that series, and it's something that Alex and I kind of talked about off of the podcast, where it's like I'm ready to go back to Fallout 3 now. I'm ready to enter another Fallout world, because it's given me so much time away from it. Like, okay, I'm set to go back. I'm cool with it, because I burnt myself out on Fallout so much because I played the crap out of all the Fallout 3.
You and I both.
There was so much Fallout 3 that I played, even with the DLC. I mean, they really brought it with all of the content in Fallout 3. Like, it was just amazing how much DLC and how much rich environments and just so much crap you can do in that game, and so much stuff I did in that game. It burned me out. I didn't want to play New Vegas, so I was like, I can't do this right now. And I'm finally, a couple years later, ready to go
5 years later.
Yeah, a few years later now, I'm finally ready to go back and enter that world again.
I want to say more than 5.
Yeah.
I think Fallout 3 was like 07. 07, 08.
I think you're right. I was still in college at the time.
I was working for 4-player co-op at that time. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a while ago.
And New Vegas was, what, like 2 years after that?
Something
so probably
like that,
09, I'd say.
Shit,
09, 10.
Yeah, right. So it has been a while.
Yep.
That's how long it's taken me to finally say, all right, I'll do it. So I'm hoping that Assassin's Creed doesn't have that long of a time period for me to go back to it. But
well, some of the best sequels do have like a big gap in between them that really develops that nostalgia or that longing to go back to that universe.
Yeah.
Whereas you have some of these games that get churned out every year. And on the topic of Assassin's Creed, I've been burnt out since the one right after 2, Brotherhood, I guess.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Brotherhood was the best, I would say.
I really enjoyed 2. I bought Black Flag as a launch title for my PS4.
Yeah.
I played it for probably about an hour, and then I was like, I've done this. It's pretty, great, gorgeous, and then I was just like, I don't want to play this right now, and I never went back to it.
Yeah. Dude, same exact way. I started it, I just couldn't get into it.
4 has been my favorite since 2, so I will give it that. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
I liked what I played of it. Like, everything in Black Flag, like, it was interesting. It drew my attention. I wanted more of it. But then I mentally didn't want to. Like, I was just drained from it.
You and I were both on the same page then, because I couldn't motivate myself to play it.
Yeah.
As interested as I was in finding out what the plot was and being a pirate and, sailing ships and whatnot, I just had zero motivation to play for more than an hour.
Yep.
No, like, to that degree, like, I feel like the only reason I am playing this is for the plot, because I do find that whole lore between the Templars and the Assassins really really appealing.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's definitely a high point to the series as a whole. They've definitely had their missteps with some of their games, with just gameplay like that.
Oh man, I would say the first one was hard to get through.
Oh, the first one was terrible to get through.
Yeah, I mean that was just a fucking nightmare to get through. I wanted to get through it for the story, and I eventually did. But then Assassin's Creed 2 just blew everything out of the water. Like, that game was amazing.
It was a blast, yeah.
Yeah, like the first one, like they had all these concepts of what they want to do with the gameplay, but they didn't know how to string it together to actually make fun gameplay.
Yeah.
And number 2, they realized what they were doing and really excelled upon that.
They must have gotten a lot of criticism back and like fixed a lot of areas that people like cared about.
Oh yeah, that game got a lot of criticism.
Oh yeah, I hated that game. I was like one of those adamant people, like, fuck this game, fuck collecting 8,000 flags and like.
Oh god, the flags.
Yeah, because that was one of the nightmares of the original Assassin's Creed, was collecting all those damn flags. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't care about these things, but I'm a completionist and I want to collect the flags.
And there was achievements for it.
And there was,
right? Yeah.
They just had too much stuff going on in that game. Too many concepts, as you kind of just touched on, Alex, that they weren't great at one thing. They just had too much going on in it, but really knocked it down in Assassin's Creed 2. What actually, Adam? You just played The Order.
Yeah, I've actually been juggling a couple of games recently. Also, kind of a backlog situation. I've been hovering in between the new DLC for Call of Duty, which I am still really enjoying. That Advanced Warfare gameplay with the exosuits and whatnot.
Nice, which is good because like you were so sick of Call of Duty for a while.
Oh yeah, I was burnt out on that series for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And I picked up Advanced Warfare on a fluke. I had heard a couple of good things from some friends, and it was on sale during the holidays for like $30. I was like, screw it. I'll give it a shot. Maybe the multiplayer is good.
Right.
Been very happy with it. Happy enough to actually purchase the DLC. So there have been 2 map packs so far. Having a blast with the new weapons and the new maps. Very cool. Other than that, I've also been playing Drive Club, which had a very rough launch, just like Unity.
Oh, that was broken, wasn't it? Like it was.
Yeah, the online multiplayer was basically broken, and that was kind of the whole concept behind the game. It's this almost like a racing MMO,
right?
And it's actually it's a beautiful game. I gotta tell you, if you guys like card games, it's worth giving a shot just because of the visuals and the gameplay. It's awesome.
Right.
It's a really cool game. It's difficult if you haven't played a card game in a while, or if you've only played like Need for Speeds. It's a little bit more unforgiving. It's more of a sim. And then, like you said, I've also been playing The Order 1886. I actually just finished it. Let's just say I'm glad that I bought it for $10.
Okay, for $10, it was a good deal.
Yeah. I'd say any more than $10 or $20 is it's going to be a big disappointment. It's really short. Again, graphically stunning, beautiful game, but you don't care about the characters. The gameplay is, I mean, you've been there, you've done that. If you played a cover-based shooter, you've played The Order.
Yeah.
none of the characters you really ever grow to care about. And the plot is just meh. So, rent it at best, I guess. It's a couple of hours of really pretty gameplay, but far from a valid purchase unless it's in that $10 to $20 range.
Which is a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Because that game was so hyped. There was a lot of positive buzz going into that game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a launch title, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I just remember everybody talking about it from like E3 and all that stuff. Just like
they were just saying how beautiful it looked, but I think I just remember seeing just the few quote unquote gameplay trailers going. There's not a lot of gameplay to this.
No.
So
it's so basic.
After seeing that, I was very skeptical about what was going to come out, and from what I heard everybody talking about, they're like, yeah, there's not a lot of gameplay to it.
And I feel like it was almost falsely advertised. Like, when they first had the trailers for it, it's like, ooh, this is this gothic, almost survival horror-esque steampunk game where you're fighting monsters and this and that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, you fight a couple of werewolves, and the rest of it, it's just shooting dudes.
That was the worst spoiler alert ever. Like, you did not give anybody the second a chance to pause. They're like, spoiler alert, bam.
Well, no, I mean...
The game's been out for some time, so I think most people know what...
and that's basically what everyone has been saying throughout all the other podcasts I listen to who have played that game. They're like, you don't fight a lot of supernatural things, it's a lot of dudes you're fighting.
Yeah.
Adam just likes fighting the dudes, so that probably... I'm surprised he doesn't like it anymore.
I was expecting a whole different game when I played it, so... by no means a bad game, just...
Uninspired
and a weak plot and characters you don't care about, but a joy to look at. It's just a really pretty game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best I can say about it.
Yeah. For me, I guess, for gaming, I bought the DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Started playing it, realized that I'm still kind of burnt out on Dragon Age Inquisition because I put in so much time into it.
You and me both, dude.
So, we talked about that on several podcasts because we played so much of it. So I'm still kind of burnt out. I played, maybe, 20, 30 minutes of it. I'm like, shit, what are the controls again? And then I just, I don't want to do this right now. And I took it out, and I started trying to play Wolfenstein. Really love Wolfenstein. Didn't finish it yet, though, but still, that's a great game. You guys love that game.
Yeah.
And always talk high about it, and I could see why. It's definitely one of those...
I do want to try the new standalone thing that they released.
I've been hearing mixed reviews.
I've been hearing it's the same action you love. So, okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, Wolfenstein is a tight action game.
Yeah.
Where, Mad Max was a tight action movie, Wolfenstein is a great, tight, well thought out, well put together action game. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. And I'm surprised there's as much story as there is. Realistically, I'm enjoying it. So I'll eventually get around to that. And I guess been watching movies. That's always been my responsibility here on Lost Level, where it's kind of just you guys play the games, I play sometimes, and then I'll just kind of focus in on the movies aspects to it. And that's the way that it's been for the last couple months now.
I guess, yeah.
So I've been just sitting there watching movies and enjoying the shit out of stuff like that. So
you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. You've been playing the shit out of Narwhal.
Starwall.
Starwall. There you go.
I guess, okay, so party games, because we do have a lot of people come over on a regular basis, and we're playing Starwall.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Alex made me buy it. He purchased it on my PS4.
Yeah.
Just so we can all play it, because he heard originally on a podcast.
Rebel FM.
On Rebel FM, they were talking about it, and you said, all right, let's try this game out. And
well, yeah, I actually bought it beforehand on my place because my brother's coming over, and it was to the point where it was I was actually, with my new job and everything, where I don't have to work on the weekend, I could actually spend quality time with him when he's around. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, let's get some games to play. So, we played some Towerfall. I'm like, you know what, I heard about this game, let me buy it, let's try it. Mm-hmm. And we loved it so much, and his son was sitting next to us as we were playing it. His son was, 1.5 at this point, almost. and like he saw how much we were getting into it, and he was screaming like "oh" as we were doing it. It was kind of adorable.
Nice,
but like it's a fun game. It gets really intense. For those of you who've never heard of this game or seen it in action, basically it's a arena type battle game.
Yeah,
you choose a star wall, which is basically a narwhal in space.
Mm-hmm.
You get to customize how you look, what color, what accessory you have, and you're controlling yourself around this arena. It's 2D. It's 2D. It's not 3D. So control yourself around this arena, and you have to use your horn to stab the other players in the heart.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, a narwhal is basically a whale with a unicorn horn.
Right.
And these are actual animals in the world.
Yes, they exist. But yeah, it's like it gets really intense because if you start to get close to the heart, like the action will slow down, so it gives you that last chance to like maneuver out of the way or maneuver into it. So it gets really intense at times.
Yeah, and controls that are purposely not precise.
It's very clunky, like the way a narwhal would control.
Yeah, so you're kind of just flopping around in this universe,
like a fish in space. Yeah,
yeah, it's fun. Like we play a lot of party games, and definitely this is up there along with Towerfall Ascension.
And there's that free game that you showed me on Xbox One too.
Oh, the IDARB.
Yeah, we tried Aridar about. I do still want to try that with 4 players. We played it just one-on-one just because I only own 2 controllers. We need to bring a couple over and try that out with 4 players. I think
I have 2, so I could bring 2 over.
The game would totally change strategically.
Because you get past and stuff.
Yeah, you can pass to the other opponents and stuff. So I think that'd be a tighter game, and I think it would be more fun to play with 4 players. But Star Wars is a great 4-player game. Towerfall Ascension is a great 4-player game that we play all the time. And then we've been playing the Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah, Fibbage and Drawful.
Yeah, so we've been playing the shit out of those too. Great party games. Like if you guys just need quick games that anybody can just jump in on, that Jack in the Box is awesome. Like you can just play a shit ton of people. That people use their phones as the controller, and it's kind of like win, lose, or draw. Almost it's like you draw something, you have to kind of guess what it is, and people just have fun with it.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah, very very fun game, and then. That's really about it, man. Like I haven't been playing a lot of like games by myself lately. Again, mostly movies. So that's really about it. E3's coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe let's talk about that real quick. So E3's coming up. Is there anything that you guys want to see from it? Are you guys excited?
You beat me to it.
No, that's what fucking everybody's saying. Like everybody knows. It's pretty much all but confirmed at this point that we're going to be hearing something about a new Fallout game during E3.
I hope it's not just like a teaser and it's like, coming out 2017. Because I will cry.
From there were rumors going around a while ago saying that behind closed doors there's going to be like a 20 to 30 minute gameplay trailer for like people in the industry to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's promising.
Yeah, if we see it, that'll be great. But
I'm
not holding my breath. I'm expecting it at the very least a teaser trailer. I'm hoping for more, but I'm not expecting
Ron
it.
Perlman dialogue.
Oh yeah, because war never changes.
Neither do narrators. Man, when that game comes out, you guys will never see me again.
That's fine.
I'm just gonna,
That's what it takes.
I'm going to use up all of my PTO at work and just sit there and rot and play this game.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
It'll be good. Don't. Come on.
Yeah, so that's obviously one game that I'm excited for. You think we'll see Half-Life 3?
No.
Valve won't. They don't do their announcements at E3. They do their own thing.
Okay, well, do you think Nintendo will unveil anything?
Oh,
they've
been of the new console.
They've been talking about that new console a little bit. Maybe they'll do some announcement. I mean, they've gotten a resurgence in the last year, definitely with Smash Brothers and Mario Kart 8 success.
I almost bought a Wii U this past week on impulse.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, you know what, I kind of want one now. Well, I was helping my friend set up the Wii U for her kids, and at this point I was like, you know, I should probably get one for myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't, because I just can't spend, what was it, $250?
Or I don't know how much they are.
I think they're $3.
free. Yeah,
unless they found a price.
Yeah, that's a pricey impulse buy, I would say.
Yeah, plus games and etc. So
yeah, they actually have some decent games now. So it's
that Splatoon's supposed to be good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. It's something I'm probably going to buy next for the console.
Well, your Dart would probably like that a lot, I think.
Probably.
I was going to say, we all know we're not going to see anything from Konami at this year's E3.
Definitely not Silent Hills.
Nope.
Not anything.
Yeah.
According to the CEO, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this now. They're going straight up mobile.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah. Well, that's where a lot of the money is now. It's cheaper to produce, and with microtransactions being the trend, it just makes sense for them. Especially since they do a lot when it comes to like casino games as well.
Yeah.
So video games have always kind of been a secondary thing for them.
Yeah, that's just so sad.
I mean, we grew up with Konami,
but it's understandable when it kind of boils down to it. It kind of makes sense because you're right. The money isn't in producing video games really at this point for consoles, because we see the problems. We've talked about the problems in the last 99 episodes of the industry and what's going on with the industry, and how they're not making that much money off of these things.
You're better off trying to make a hit indie game.
Yeah, I mean,
cheap. That's really simple but has good mechanics.
It's really unfortunate. I think that Silent Hills might have been pretty decent for them, but like, how decent is decent nowadays? What would that be considered a success? I mean, a lot of stuff would go into that, a lot of development. I mean, you would have had Kojima involved, you had Del Toro involved. I mean, you have a lot. Plus,
yeah, and they're not doing that for free.
Yeah, they would sink a lot of money into that game to see how much would actually be made off of it. Would have been an interesting thing to see. But
people love their Silent Hills, though. That's the thing.
They do, but it's still a niche audience. It's not a mainstream audience that's Call of Duty volume or Madden volume.
You throw in somebody like Norman Reedus, which is like one of everybody's favorite actors right now just because of The Walking Dead. And then you throw in Del Toro, which is, again, has a huge following for his movies. It's like the perfect storm of awesome. It would have been great.
It would have been great for the audience, for the niche audience. It would have expanded a little bit, sure, with Norman Reedus. But it still wouldn't be on that type of level where it can make a substantial amount of money for them to take that time for the investment. The CEO probably looked at it and like, we could probably make more money for Konami as a mobile company as opposed to trying to make some of these games and continuing on with that. So I could see where they're coming from, and it makes a lot of sense financially. It's sad. It's frustrating for us because, like, as Adam touched on, grew up with Konami. Fucking Konami code. I mean, like, that's the games we grew up on. So it's unfortunate that we're not going to see that really anymore. Unless you do apps or games on phones. I mean,
Metal Gear, Phantom Pain, that's their swan song for consoles.
Yeah. God, that's crazy when you think about that.
Yeah. I mean, they might do, a Metal Gear, maybe iPhone game or something in episodic fashion or something.
Maybe they sell the franchise? Or, like, have somebody else buy the license?
There's always that option. But I'm sure they're going to hang on to it for a rainy day just in case. I don't know.
Well, Kojima's not attached. God, it's just so messed up. It's hard to think about. What else? Anything from Microsoft or Sony you guys want to see?
Sony, we're probably going to see more Uncharted, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think that's really kind of that golden egg that everybody wants to get their hands on.
Yeah, probably going to see stuff for the new Tomb Raider for Microsoft.
Is that 2015 or 2016?
I want to say it's this year.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I hope.
Like November time, somewhere.
I mean, how many games are going to get announced and then pushed to 2016? I mean, we
already have a good amount of games pushed to 2016. The Division was pushed.
That's so disappointing too.
Mad Max was pushed too, since we talked about that earlier. And by the way, how great was that movie again?
You know what? The game looks like it can be decent. Not like there was a extended trailer I saw, and the action looked promising. A little clunky, but I'm sure it's still early in development. But it looks like there could be something to that game.
I'll play it.
Yeah,
they've got my attention.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. Which is weird because we know game adaptations of movies are just 99% of the time shit. Yes, Wolverine Origins.
No, I wasn't going to go to that. I'm saying that this is not an adaptation of the movie.
Okay,
this is a standalone Mad Max game.
Okay,
developed, completely separate from the movie. It's again its own entity.
Okay, well that's cool then.
Yeah, it looks like Twist Metal meets Batman
Fallout?
or Origins.
Is there a button that I can have my character yell "Witness me" when I die?
What a wonderful day!
Like, can I do that? Because that would be awesome.
I don't know.
Because I would use the fucking share button for that. I would use the damn PS4
but that means
share
you'd
button.
have to actually get on a PS4.
I'm not opposed to it. I have been buying games for PS4 as of late.
Just because they're cheaper?
Maybe, but it's still on a PS4. Yeah, I mean, I'll pretty much go, if it's cross-platform, I'm buying it on the cheaper one. If it's the same price, I'll still lean towards the Microsoft.
Right.
But I'm not as hardcore as I was. I still don't like the PS4 controller all that much. It's better than the PS3 controller, but I still like the way that the
Xbox One's controller feels really good.
Yeah, my hands are comfortable with that controller for some reason. My daughter, who has really large hands, she likes the DualShock. What? She
Let's hope
does.
she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Well, she has larger hands. Like,
she doesn't have large hands. She has long fingers.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, it's not like you're making it sound like she's that lady from fucking Seinfeld.
Yeah, manhands
breaking lobsters with her bare hands.
Oh my god, no, I'm not.
No, she
going
breaks
that far.
skulls with her bare hands.
It's the fight from the end of Game of Thrones last season.
All right, so yeah, whatever. She has fingers that are large, I guess, and she still likes the DualShock over the Xbox controller. So
it's all personal preference.
It's personal preference, and whatever you get used to and what your friends are playing also has a great deal of that. What else is there?
We'll probably see more of the new Assassin's Creed game. Was that Syndicate?
Yes, that's what it is. Fuck.
Oh.
Sorry, the Ducks just scored a goal. Yes, I'm watching the Hawks game and recording at the same time.
What's that other Ubisoft game that's been delayed 1,000 years? That's crap. What is it called? It's like a police shooter type of thing.
Rainbow Six?
No, it's like The District or something. You know what I'm talking about?
The Division.
Division.
Yeah,
there
I mentioned
you go.
that.
Division.
You mentioned that.
Did we? Oh, sorry.
I did. It's okay. You don't pay attention to me. No one ever does.
Dang it. I've been caught.
What I do want to see is the new Tony Hawk game in action. Hopefully, we get a glimpse of that.
Oh yeah, because that was confirmed. Like, what was it, like on its Instagram or something?
Well,
or it was like in the background.
Yeah, no, but there's been information come out after that about this actual existence and how they're going to have like some sort of projectile system in it as well.
Interesting.
Like I think one of the earlier games. This is probably after I stopped playing them though. Like you were able to throw shit from your board, like eggs or tomatoes or whatever.
I think 3 or 4 was the last one I was on board with.
The last one I did was Underground, or maybe it was American Wasteland. I don't remember. But
Wasteland was after, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the last one I played.
But regardless, yeah, that was. So as we mentioned before, enough time between sequels is usually what makes them better. So I think we have had enough time since a Tony Hawk game a proper Tony Hawk game that I'm interested in this one, because this one is officially Tony Hawk 5.
Yeah,
as opposed to Project 8 or.
Yeah. Man, speaking of which, that actually makes me realize that the last Tony Hawk game I played was that crappy one with the plastic skateboard thing.
Oh my god, you actually played that?
I played that. I don't remember in what setting. It might have been at a store somewhere or something. But
okay, so you didn't own it.
I didn't own it.
Oh, okay.
No. But I tested it out somewhere. Maybe it was at a convention or something.
Were you still working at...
I think I was still at Best Buy, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask GameStop.
Well, no, it must have been Best Buy, because I remember we had stacks of those things that nobody ever bought. But that is the last Tony Hawk game that I played.
That's unfortunate.
Which is sad.
What a interesting concept.
I mean... Peripherals were the thing back then because of fucking...
God, Rock Band.
Yeah, exactly.
Guitar Hero.
Which we're probably going to see more of those games. I imagine we'll see...
We'll see a lot of the new one.
New Guitar Hero and a new Rock Band.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a lot for that.
And it's good to see that those franchises are taking different routes.
I could definitely see like one of the companies going with one of the like bigs like Sony or Microsoft, and then doing a huge presentation on it.
It was Microsoft that did the Beatles one, right?
Yeah. So I can definitely see them doing something like that again.
And it's kind of funny because, again, going back to how you want to go back to Fallout, I'm kind of excited about playing a Guitar Hero or a Rock Band again. Because I remember how much fun I used to have, when those games were like fresh and like the new thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a blast.
Yeah, we had parties for that shit. Exactly. Like people would just come over and jam out.
You used to play it in bars.
That's right.
It was awesome. And then they just dumped every fucking music game on us all at once, and I was like, no, it's over.
There's too much plastic toys now.
Yeah.
This was overkill, which was unfortunate, but there was too much going on, for sure. What about Mirror's Edge 2?
I think that was confirmed for 2016. I want to say
it's not this year for sure. Yeah.
You think we'll see something though?
I hope so.
That'd be interesting.
At least some gameplay, not just like a trailer of her beating up some people, but like some actual. Gameplay that really reminds us of the first game.
God, I imagine it'll look fucking gorgeous as well.
Oh, jeez. Just the fluid animation. Mm-hmm. God, it was such a fun game.
Well, it had such a good aesthetic to it as well. That very stark white with the bits of color.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a great game. I have hopes. Like, now that it's going to run better, like how fluid that movement's going to be, it's going to be good. Going to be pretty damn sweet.
For its time, the first one was
great.
Really fluid. It was. I'm going to throw this out there and say it's in like probably my top 10 last generation games.
Okay.
I love the shit out of that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm going to bash you for that one for sure. If you said like Madden or something like that, then I'd be like, interesting choice. But.
That's the other 9. All of the Maddens.
Yeah. So I'm drawing a blank thinking about trying to think of what else I really want to see from E3. I don't know.
Is there anything you want to see from Ubisoft? Like, do you think we'll eventually see any Beyond Good and Evil? Are we giving up on that at this point?
Here's the thing: Beyond Good and Evil is in my top 10 games of all time. I love the shit.
That is a phenomenal game.
I love the shit out of that game, and I still play it to this day. I'll go back to it every now and then and start playing it, and just I love this game. And everything that you saw, like when they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2 years ago, when you saw little demo versions of it, I'm like, that's not the same game.
Right.
That's just with the characters, but it's not the same feel, look, or anything like that. So at this point, I'm not even looking at it as Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm just looking at it just like different game. I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to see what they do with it, but it's not going to have that same feel, that same cartoonish look to it or anything. It's just going to be different. So I don't know. I'm not overly excited about it.
Okay.
As you would think.
Provided we actually get anything about it.
But. Right. Like if there was a Psychonauts 2 or something like that, then
you're really dreaming right there.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Then it'd be like, holy shit. But I mean, shit, I was fucking stoked about Grim Fandango when they announced that at the last award show, or not award show, at the E3 or whatever. So yeah, other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, we're bound to see Call of Duty. Yeah. Probably a Microsoft conference.
New Battlefield.
You think we're going to see new Battlefield?
I don't think so. I think they're still focusing on Hardline.
How's Hardline doing? I mean, I'm still removed from Battlefield.
Playing it all the time.
Yeah,
I haven't purchased it.
Yeah, I know you weren't too impressed with the betas.
Yeah, the alpha and the beta were meh at best, but I've seen some game shares from my friends on my PS4, and it looks like a much faster paced Battlefield. It's still squad based, but smaller maps.
A little more twitchy.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's something that I'll probably eventually pick up, but I've just had so much on my plate lately that I've been focusing on things that aren't necessarily first person shooters, like Bloodborne and unfortunately the Order 1886. So,
all right.
But back to E3, I guess. Anything else, guys?
I mean, I'm sure we're probably going to see more Batman, but yeah. I don't know if I want to see more of it. I kind of just want to wait for the game to come out at this point.
Yeah.
And just experience it that way instead of seeing too much.
Well, it comes out like June 12th, I want to say, which is right around the time that E3 happens, so we probably won't get a whole lot of coverage.
I don't know why I was thinking it was large.
That's right, it's close. I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah,
we just saw the commercial for it, so that makes sense.
I hope we see something completely out of left field.
Right. I was about to ask, what would you see that would totally blow you away?
I want a new something.
Not even a sequel.
I just want something new that's going to be like, whoa. I want something that's just completely original, completely different. Somebody make up for the loss of Silent Hills, please.
I would like to see a new franchise, sure. I wouldn't mind seeing them announce the Mass Effect trilogy coming to the next gen.
That would be nice.
Yeah, since I lost my game saves, I want to play it again, but I've been holding off for that rumor that it might happen. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd be cool with it. I'd probably jump on board for that. I mean, I bought the fucking Master Chief Collection, even though that was broken.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's little rumblings of Crash Bandicoot coming back. So
really,
yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. Silence because the Hawks just scored again.
Sorry, yes, we have 1:50 to score and tie this up.
That's weird for Naughty Dog. I figure their focus at this point is
maybe a Last of Us follow up and obviously Uncharted 4. But I mean that studio has been growing exponentially over the past couple of years.
So, they put a Crash team together, yeah.
And with a game like that, it probably doesn't take a huge team like Uncharted or The Last of Us.
But it'd be nice to see a more cartoony game like that on a newer gen system because they can do a lot with that. They can make it look really good. You could get, like early Pixar quality from that almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it'll be really interesting to see what they can do because they have good tech there. So I'm sure it would look beautiful.
Absolutely. If they bring just back a Crash game that plays like the franchise did when it first came out, I'd be all for that.
Those were fun games. I did enjoy those a lot.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we kind of talked about E3 a lot now. Why don't we talk about Lost Level?
Okay.
Why don't we... This is the 100th episode. We've been together for many years now.
You guys have probably noticed that Chris is always wrong.
Sadly, I'm right a lot of the time. But Adam just disagrees with me. And still does after 100 episodes. But no, Adam wasn't here at the beginning. He came on really shortly after. I guess Lost Level started because I didn't get to accomplish everything I wanted to at the previous podcast that I had, 4-player co-op with a bunch of friends. And the reason I started podcasting in general is just so I can kind of just learn how to talk. Because
and you're still doing that,
right? And I'm still doing it just because it helps me, because a lot of times I can't get my point across when I'm talking, like in just normal conversations and stuff. It's easier for me to be kind of like an introvert in life, where I don't share my thoughts. I kind of just keep everything to myself. I'm kind of like that antisocial type of person. So I started doing the podcasting as a way to learn how to communicate better.
You know what? I feel the same way, just because if I saw something I liked, I knew I liked it, but I was never really good at articulating why I liked it. Doing this has really pushed me to break it down and see what are the elements and how do they work and why do they work. And, it's helped me look at things more critically and I guess potentially make smarter decisions when I buy games and go see movies.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of why I started podcasting. And then, like I said, I didn't get to accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish at the other podcast, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to start my own. Started with a little guy named G. We started doing this together and then quickly brought Adam on, and then...
Shortly thereafter me.
I think actually Alex and I started the same day.
Did you start on the X-Men First Class
I
one?
think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let me start on the same time.
I remember because we were still recording at G's at the time.
Yep.
And I had parked directly across from you, and we both walked up at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and that was the first time you guys actually met.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys were my friends, but you never met in a social setting before. Like I knew you guys from different circles. Yeah, different circles entirely. And like, God, I remember those days thinking about it. Like, that was so young in Lost Level's life that I had to drink probably like 4 or 5 beers before every episode.
And during. If you go back and listen to the early episodes...
They tied it up! Fuck yeah! Sorry.
It's tied. But I was saying, if you go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes, you'll hear intermittently just cans and bottles opening throughout the entire episode.
That still happens, yeah.
Not nearly as often as it did back then. We used to go through like a 12-pack between, 3 or 4 of us in the 40 minutes to an hour that we would record.
Let alone before that. There was pre-games. I would pre-game. There was a bar over by where our original studio was.
Oh, shit.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but we'd go there at least 2 hours before we would record.
Yep.
And we both kind of had a crush on the bar server, the bartender there, Marge.
Yeah, you still remember her name. That's nice.
Yeah.
You don't remember the place, but you remember her. But yeah, I would drink at least 3 or 4 different beers every time, and then we'd have a 6-pack while we were recording, just so I could try to talk on these podcasts, because I was just always nervous about it. And again, that's why I fucking started doing this. Now, 100 episodes later, I can record without having 7 beers. I can probably have a couple now.
But you still can't pronounce any names correctly.
I'm still horrible at pronouncing names.
Well, that's because of all the beer he has drank.
That's true. That portion of his brain has been irreparably...
Yeah, I don't even try anymore, which is sad. But yeah, it was a good time. It started with great intentions, and the other part of Lost Level that I really like too is it's something that I've never tried to actively make it like this financial thing. Like, I didn't make it with the intention of finances driving it.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
No, Coors Light. But no, I want to just have our opinions, and I wanted those opinions to be like unbiased and unjaded, and like, oh well, fuck Microsoft for not giving us a free game to review or anything like that. I didn't want any of that shit. I just wanted to be able to talk about a game like, hey, we played this game, we enjoyed this game. We're not going to review every single game that comes out. We're not going to watch every single movie that comes out. It's shit that like people want to watch, that we want to watch. It's for that type of person. For
gamers, by gamers.
Kind of like that. I mean, it's kind of
it's
FGBG.
Yeah.
It's great to look at it from like, yeah, we can probably do 30, 40 different more game reviews a year or movie reviews a year.
If we didn't have jobs.
But this is a fun hobby for us. And that's how I've always wanted it to be. We get together because we enjoy each other's company. We had a fucking cookout before we recorded today.
Yeah.
And just like, we like coming together and having fun together. And that's what I've always wanted to do. As the audience giggles for some reason. But yeah, I've really appreciated this ride. I'm glad that we've finally hit episode 100. Hopefully we'll have
digits.
Hopefully we'll have 100 more and record on a more regular basis so we can get our fan base increased. Because we had a good run.
You guys can help with that,
Yes, that's true. Everybody, tell your friends. We really appreciate it. Like, Lost Level's here. We've love the ride. We love talking to listeners and our people, our friends, like talking about it after. It's like, oh man, I listened to the latest episode. Like, you were totally wrong, or shit like that. I just love those conversations that you can have with people.
So did you just admit to always being wrong?
No, I said, hey, you were wrong in that instance. But then I later found out, like, no, that just person's stupid. They're wrong,
and that you're no longer friends with them.
Yeah, I don't talk to that person anymore. Fuck that person. But yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a ride. The faces changed over the 100 episodes, but for the most part, we've been a cohesive unit.
We've been the core three from the beginning. We've had
since episode 20 something.
2 episodes or not 2 episodes. 2 other hosts, whatever you want to call us, podcasters.
We had Christina who decided that she wanted to do some more creative stuff on her own, and she has her own podcast now, which is awesome. G, he does his own crazy stuff. Still very into Japanese gaming and doing all that stuff. So I wish them the best. They're awesome. I haven't talked to them in a while, but from the podcast standpoint, we had great chemistry together. I thought it was a lot of fun, and listening to some of the old podcasts, I did that recently, just seeing how much we've grown from then till now. It's actually really interesting, because you could definitely tell that with our chemistry, us three, it's a lot better. Alex is a lot more comfortable in front of the mic now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where at the beginning he was always kind of shy, didn't really talk that much.
Well, I started drinking since then as well, so that always helps.
That's true.
I remember earlier on we used to kind of have to probe at you and ask questions.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, now he just doesn't shut up. It's damn it, Alex, I need to have a point here.
You need to learn that you're wrong as well.
See? 2 on 1.
That's fine. Too, Adam. You're wrong a lot.
Yeah, but not as much as this guy.
How much did you like the last Wolverine movie?
The last one was really good. In comparison...
That doesn't mean it's really good.
Okay, the Wolverine
comparison
was really enjoyable. Especially when you factor in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Okay.
You could compare fucking Transformers to X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Transformers will look better.
Hey.
Okay, even without a comparison, the Wolverine was a lot of fun. Okay? It was fun.
Are you trying to convince yourself as you're saying that?
There were ninjas and stabbings.
Well, that Transformer had dinosaurs.
Okay, listen, man. I love Wolverine. Deal with it. Okay? I'm a little bit biased. It is what it is.
It is. And that's why we love you, man. I mean, you've always brought the Sony fanboyism and the love for Wolverine.
It's not a fanboyism. It's a preference.
It's fanboyism. Anybody who's listened to this podcast from the start knows it's definitely fanboyism when it comes to that. Just like I'm guilty of Microsoft. I fully admit that. I'll lean towards Microsoft. And that's fine.
But we don't throw out random reasons of why we like Sony or Microsoft. It's not like, oh, I like the Sony logo better. We usually have...
Oh, yeah, because that's a dumb logo. Who would say that?
Yeah, who uses the Spider-Man 2 font as their fucking logo?
The original PS3,
yeah, but piece of shit.
You love the PS3.
No. No.
That was a genuine no.
I love the updates on it. That's a lot of fun.
There are a lot of PS3 games that you really loved, so you just zip it.
There were more Xbox 360 games that I really loved, I think.
Yeah, no, you know what? Don't get me wrong. Sony has some awesome exclusives. I definitely love a lot of their exclusives, and I'll play the shit out of them when they come out. It's just, we talked about it to death. Preferences.
Yep.
So I like the controller better on the Xbox. I'm not saying it's a better system. I'm not saying it's a worse system. That's my preference.
Exactly.
I own them all. I mean, I own the Wii U. I'm the only one on this podcast that owns a Wii U.
That's true.
So I mean, I own everything. I'm equal opportunity. I even had amiibos.
Yeah.
Had a couple of those.
You went cold turkey with those, though. Pretty proud of you.
That felt good to get rid of those. I sold them on eBay.
So you can make room for the new run coming out?
To make room. No. But yeah, they started getting obnoxiously. My collection just started getting stupid. I'm like, no, I need to unload these.
It almost got as bad as your fucking Skylanders binge.
Yes. But I did sell one of my Skylanders for like $150.
Wow.
One
of those special glow-in-the-dark or furry or whatever clear
ones.
One
of those...
It came to life at night.
Yeah.
One of those sold, and I think I sold it for cheaper than I should have, but I just wanted to unload on some stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah, I do go through those crazy collection binges, and fucking video games are so bad with that stuff. And they're coming out with... they come out with the Marvel... Infinity stuff, which
Disney Infinity, I have quite a collection of that.
I stayed away from those. They announced that they're going to do the Star Wars one
for 3.0, yeah.
And it's just like, oh god, I have to find a way to stay away from that now.
No, you can play with me. It's fine.
No, I'm not trying to get into those things.
You're probably going to jump on board the Lego
Dimensions
thing.
Honestly, if I stayed away from the Marvel one, which I'm a large fan of the Marvel stuff, I only like one Star Wars movie out of 6. So like
Phantom Menace.
Yes. By far Phantom Menace.
You walked into that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Your life-size Jar Jar Binks plushie next to your bed.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
It's not a plushie. It's a big body pillow that he just hugs and holds between his legs.
Yeah, no. No. In all honesty, seriously, I'm not that huge of a Star Wars person as everybody thinks. For some reason, I am. I don't know, maybe because of my age. Like, oh, you have to like Star Wars, don't you? I enjoy the universe.
No, I like Flash Gordon.
There's one freaking movie that I really enjoy out of that, and that's Empire. But the other movies are flawed. What else is there? I don't know. What do you guys want to say about Lost Level?
Nothing. It's just been a really fun ride so far. I'm glad we got together. I'm glad I got to get my voice out there a little bit. Spout my opinions because everyone knows how smart I am.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's good to just get your voice out there, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've definitely seen you grown. Like you a lot, as we kind of just touched on. Like you were really timid at first.
Yeah, I hit my growth spurt.
And yeah, it was the alcohol that did it.
Oh god, the alcohol. Probably the worst thing to happen to me.
Man, we used to get hammered before podcasts.
Yeah, we did.
And it's amazing how we still function fine, just talking about games and bullshitting about stuff. But yeah, I guess I don't need it as much, but I still do it. I still like it.
Yeah.
I could probably get another beer right now if I had the opportunity, but
I got work in the morning.
Yeah. Well, the Hawks are going into overtime, so.
Oh, of course they are.
Adam?
On the same terms as Alex, it's been fun. When you're sitting in front of a microphone, people kind of have to listen to you. So it's pretty cool. It's, a lot of times you can have a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh no, that's wrong. But when you're in a podcast, your voice is heard. There's people out there that download it to their iPhones and their iPods, and they listen through it. They might fast forward through my parts, but it's still a cool feeling knowing that there's people all over the country or different parts of the world that are listening to us and enjoy our bullshit.
What? I didn't hear you.
Exactly.
No, we're really big in Uzbekistan, actually.
I can
A lot of listeners out there, so that's awesome. We're actually, we do have a lot of like overseas listeners. It's actually pretty cool. I think it's crazy that we did it. Like coming from where like I met everybody. Like I met Adam, where he begged me for a job.
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
it was a long time ago. But like that's like it's just weird stuff that happens like that. Like, and then Adam's pretty much like my brother at this point. And who would have thought that? Like seeing him walking into the store that I was working at, and him literally begging me for a job. And I just didn't think anything of this guy. Like, look at this stupid idiot with his
asking for DS games.
Like with a large head. Like, why would I hire this guy?
I was going through a slump in my life at the time, and I had only had an original DS, and I was looking for work, and I saw Chris at a GameStop. He was a manager at the time, and yeah, I applied, bugged him about it several times, and had him make suggestions to me for DS games. And his first ever suggestion for a video game for me for the DS to this day is one of my favorite franchises for the DS.
I have good taste sometimes.
Phoenix Wright. I still remember that. It was just after the first Phoenix Wright came out, and to this day, love that franchise. And that's probably the only good suggestions he's ever given me.
But yeah, but like, who would have thought that guy bugging me for a job would have been here still 5-6 years later, or longer than that? Shit.
Fuck, dude, over a decade.
Yeah, I guess it's been that long. Holy shit.
Well, not over a decade, probably close to a decade.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
It must have been 23, 24 at the time.
Wow. That's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. And then like I met Alex through social circles.
Yeah, I met you through Fish and Placky.
Yeah,
and I met them through Joe, who I met through Tyler. So it was just a weird
and
circles coming together.
I was doing 4-player co-op. I left 4-player co-op. Then you started doing some 4-player co-op stuff with them. Yeah. And then I tried to recruit you to come over to join our side. And then you finally came over. And then the rest is history. Here we are.
You said this. Do a podcast. I said okay. It's not like it's not like you kept trying. And I was like, no.
I did have to try because you had allegiances to them at that time.
I didn't have any allegiance.
Yes, you did. I remember specifically having conversations with you, and you're like, I don't know because I don't want to like step on their toes and all that stuff.
I don't remember that.
So yeah, it took me a while to get you to come over, but you finally did.
I think I was just being lazy, honestly.
Fair enough. But yeah, here we are, episode 100. Hopefully, we get 100 more out of here.
Yeah. It'll take us another 5-10 years.
At least 6-7 years.
Okay.
The way that we record in our schedules.
Well, I mean, with full-time jobs and lives, it's really tough doing a weekly podcast. When we do it, great. But you guys, the listeners out there, I'm sure you understand that it's just not always feasible.
Yeah, and honestly, like there's been moments where I've thought about hanging it up and not doing the podcast anymore. But I do it because the positive feedback that I get. People enjoy listening to us and like just hearing us bullshit and the passion behind what we're talking about, and that's what feeds me. So like I really appreciate all the kind words I've gotten over the years from fans and people who listen to the podcast, and continue to do so. We really appreciate any feedback that you guys give us. It fuels us. It helps us continue on through the tough times when we're doing stuff. Because, like, as you know, I lost a family member recently, and Adam, again, playing Crash Test Dummy. Like life happens. It's hard. It's hard to get together sometimes, and we love when we do. And when we do, it's a special thing. And that's why we do this Lost Level podcast. And I'm really appreciative. It's helped me out. It helped me mature over the years. It's helped me out so much. So I'm really thankful for everybody who listens to this show. Thank you very much to the fans, and thank you to Adam and Alex for continuing to be here and enjoying this as much as I do, because it's a special thing for us. So,
yeah,
yep.
I do it for the beer.
How can we get a hold of everybody?
You can follow me on Twitter. My name there is Alex Sandberg, AlexSanberg, or you can email me directly at the website, alex@TheLostLevel.com. What about you, Adam?
I'm not a big Twitter guy. I've already mentioned this a couple of episodes in the past now. So my social media kind of reaches out to Instagram and Facebook, but let's just stick to Instagram. I'm Adam Howlett on there. That's AdamHowlett. And you can also email me directly at our website, which is, again, AdamHowlett@TheLostLevel.com.
Hawk's just lost.
Oh, no.
Damn it. All right. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/calmintensity. We are on Twitter as well. We are on Facebook. I do Instagram a lot. Chris is calm. Let's see what else is there. LostLevel.com has all this social media websites, links, everything like that in the upper right-hand corner. So definitely check that out. Like I said, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, pretty much all the major social media sites. You can find us out and locate us on that lostlevel.com. We also try to post, as much stuff as possible on lostlevel.com. We even posted some cosplay pics from our recent experience at C2E2.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a great weekend.
That was a great weekend.
We gotta do another con soon, man.
Yeah. We're very con hungry now. Like we really enjoyed the experience there, so we definitely want to do some more of that and take some pictures and share some of that with you on lostlevel.com. So if you're interested in checking out some decent cosplay from C2E2, go on lostlevel.com, check out that link, and then all of the pictures that Alex ran around taking.
I was drinking, so if they look blurry...
That was a lot of fun, though. Like, you were like, I'm like, dude, go check that one out. So, like, he'd run across the freaking place and try to catch them.
Yep.
And tackle people.
It was just hard balancing a beer in one hand, my phone in the other hand.
Yeah. But a lot of pictures came out great.
Yep.
So definitely check those out. And we'll talk to you guys in episode 101.
Bye.